Hey, looks like I'm live. I wanted to re-record this video because yesterday I did it and it turned out sideways. I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. This is Kasia, intuitive healer and energy artist. And what I wanted to talk about was how to feel safe feeling, especially when we're emotionally triggered. We're heading into the end of 2016, and this was a year 9, speaking numerologically. So 9 marks the completion of a cycle, and we're heading into a year 1 next year. And if there's something that you haven't completed from the last, basically 9 years, it's going to come with you. And if you want to let it go, you better do it in the next few weeks before that happens. Now, how do we know if there's something that we haven't completed? Well, basically, you get emotionally triggered every time it comes up. This can have something to do with, drama in your life, trauma, and trauma really is in the eye of the beholder. I can't tell you what's traumatic because it really depends on what you consider traumatic in your life. But you might find that there's situations in your life that trigger you. And when you get triggered, what typically happens is your emotion, you start to feel it in your body, it rises up, you get hot, sometimes you can get even jittery. It's like you can see red, you realize, or you're not even realizing what's happening, it's just happening all at once, and you feel this like a volcano, and something's bottlenecking it. And I've often used the metaphor of a shaken can of pop. When you shake a can of pop, it gets really hard, and what happens when you open the little pop thingy? It just everywhere. That's what it feels like to me when I get triggered. I feel like I am a can of pop that just keeps fizzing and fizzing and fizzing, and I just have to let the fizz come out before I'm able to move on. So the tip I'm going to share with you today is a way to be able to manage the fizz, the emotion, the volcano erupting in the moment when it happens. Because the natural knee-jerk reaction for most people tends to be when you feel that emotion, you just compress, you react against it, you resist it. And when you resist anything, it grows. It's like it fuels the fire behind it. It adds more energy to it, and it gets worse. So instead of resisting, what you want to do is feel the emotion. Now, there's a couple things here, a couple steps. Because when you're feeling the emotion, what's also happening, including, in addition to the resistance, is your mind is narrating the whole experience. Your inner critic just jumps right in, and it's like, oh, I remember when this happened last time, and this always happens to me, and oh, remember 5 years ago when this happened, and I felt exactly the same way. And so there's this constant narration going on in your mind. What I'm talking about is feeling the feeling without the narration and feeling it where it is in your body. So let's say the trigger happens, you feel the rise of the emotion, you feel that fizz starting to want to come out of the can. You stop what you're doing. Hopefully you're not driving, but as best as you can, you stop what you're doing and you zero in your body where that emotion is. Where does it live in your body? Is it in your core? Typically, it's somewhere in our core. Mine tend to be like up, sort of where my solar plexus is in my lungs here. And you zero in on that, and you focus on the physical sensation of the emotion. Your mind's going to jump in, and it's going to, rant, rant, rant in the background. It's going to try to chatter. Let it do that, but don't indulge it. Don't take the tangent with it. Don't jump on that bus and go. Focus in on the emotion and feel it. It will be intense. If it's a big trigger, it'll be intense. You will feel the heat. You might feel the jitters, the physical sensation. But just know that you're safe. You're not going to implode. You're not going to explode. You're going to just be able to feel the sensation, and it will pass. I guarantee you, if you allow yourself to just feel it instead of resisting it, it will pass. And then it'll just go. It'll literally evaporate. And you will wonder, wow, like what was I so worried about? It just went. It's kind of a magical experience the first few times because you're in this intense bottlenecked state, and then you allow yourself to feel it and it just passes, it evaporates. Can't tell you how long that takes. I've had it take up to several minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes sometimes, but if you stick with it, you'll get better and you'll get faster at it. You will train your system to release that emotion faster. Your unconscious mind will realize that it's actually safe to feel, and when it brings things up for you to feel, you embrace those emotions and you feel them. I'll do a whole other video on the unconscious mind one of these days. But this is just a quick tip on how to manage emotional triggers in the physical body. You will find that the more you do this, the less triggers come up, depending on, of course, how many you've got. But it's a great way to, in the moment, be able to manage them and to feel better a lot faster. So let me know if this was helpful to you. Let me know your experience, and I will see you on the next video.